I reduced all of my Vinted items to just £1 to clear them down, and now they've all gone, and I'm closing my store for a bit. Let me tell you why. Vinted is one of those polarizing websites. I absolutely love it, and I hate it at the same time. There's so many things that I just can't deal with when it comes to Vinted. So yesterday I sat on my sofa and I reduced everything to £1, or as close to £1 as I possibly could without. I actually ended up taking some bits off. Like sealed watchdogs, I reduced that down to £3 and somebody sent me an offer of £1 and I thought, this is one of the reasons why I can't be bothered with it. So I've taken my media off and I'm going to start a CEX pile. But Vinted is one of those websites that just has so much potential and does so good for me when it comes. I am going to be biting my nose to spite my face now, but it has so many good things about it. There's also lots of very annoying bad things about it as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 orders going out for a total of 7 items. I'm going to show you those and then tell you a bit more. For £1, somebody got it before I could take it off. It would have gone to my CEX pile otherwise. Need for Speed PlayStation 4. Ricky, why don't you just screenshot them and send them back to eBay? I don't want my life to be harder than it needs to be. And that's going to lead us nicely into another issue that I've got with Vinted at the moment. So Vinted at the moment, their labels are playing up. Swell teddy fleece, like teddy bear fleece lined jacket. Well, I've got tubs and clothes down here that I looked at the labels, it said coats, jackets and jumpers. And I was like, duh, it's that season now, get them up. So I listed this one yesterday at a price where, this is what I'm talking about, at a price where I knew it would sell immediately. I listed it for £4.50 and it sold immediately for £4.50. I don't want to build a store on there anymore. If I list something on Vinted, it's going to be priced to a point where it sells immediately. Same day, same hour if I can. I'm not building a store on there anymore. Not for now anyway. That one had a note, hey Ricky, always enjoy the positive vibes that come across in your videos and some of the tips you give out. Buy the C16, I really appreciate it. And this is not a negative video, this is just me changing some tactics because I like my life to be easy. Easier. Can't have it easy. Cousin Paul and More Than Mike's collaboration t-shirt, £1. Nice little tie-dye one. I picked up loads of them for 15 quid. I think I've done about £200 on the bundle so far. But I reduced it to £1. Obviously that jacket is an anomaly because I listed it the same day and sold the same day because I priced it too. Michael, Any Football Cards, has picked up a little bundle and he actually said, thank you again for my eclectic mishmash of items. You'll see why in a minute. I'm well on the way to becoming a legitimate reseller, albeit without a YT channel. The ADHD, etc. makes editing and uploading an absolute chore. There's a method behind that and I might do a video on it shortly for people like us with whizzy brains. I'll just happily watch your videos and superimpose a photo of my head onto it. Probably a better head than this one, Michael. Michael, really appreciate it. For £3.45, he actually offered me 45p more. So these were £1 each, I reduced them all. Little bundle of figures by, is it Palitoy? A really nice, like Aladdin style Playmobil set. And a pair of Under Armour golf trousers, 30 by 30. £1 each they all got reduced to. Michael went the other way and offered me 3, 4, 5. We like sequential numbers, and it's a nice. It's always a nice change from Vinted's classic. Well, it's worth £60. They've listed it for a £5. Let's offer 2. It gets very, very tiresome after a while. It makes me not want to log on there. I know it's all part of the game, but like the offers are not even reasonable on Vinted by some people. And that's all for Vinted. So appreciate that, Michael. Thank you by the sea, and I think there's no other message for that. So there we go. My Vinted now has nothing in the wardrobe, and it will not have anything in there that will last any more than a day. As mentioned, I will be listing things on there that have the price point, the quality, and the desire to be sold same day, same time. And there will be bargains. That's the whole point of it. But I don't want things sitting on there anymore. I don't want any chance of any offers at the minute. I just need to recalibrate myself from Vinted and recalibrate eBay by diving back into that for a bit. And I am thinking about starting a new Vinted account without this 18-day waiting period. It is just ridiculous. Waiting 18 days plus for your money is an absolute joke. So they say if you're not a business, you can have your money within 3 days. But if you are a business and you require cash flow in order to keep your business running, not that Vinted holds me back like that, but it's still a P take, and I can imagine how, what did I say P take for? It's still a piss take. Why am I censoring myself? It's still a piss take when it comes to wanting your money, you know? Most of the time I've got £500 plus locked up in there. It's normally hovers around the £500 mark, always. You know, the next day they might release £20 and £30 and then they have a few more sales and it tops it back up to £500–600. Just always sitting in there, always, always, always. So even though now I've destocked my whole Vinted store and I'm not selling anything on there immediately now, if I wanted to wait until I got all the money back now, I'll wait. What time? It's now the 7th of November. It's going to take us into like 25th, 26th, 27th of November before I get my money out that's in there. And let's not get me started on this new label thing. The labels now are downloaded in A4 format with the 6x4 shoved into the corner. And yes, there is a way around that. I can do that. I've cropped it, I save it to my preference, filter screen, and it comes up. But what that does is it loses clarity in the label. All my labels are now blurrier than they was before Vinted started pissing around with this label issue. So that is a barrier for me. I'm not printing from my phone because I don't want to be, you know, it was working fine before. Why are you messing around for? What are you doing? So for now, for me, at the moment in time, building a Vinted store, I ain't doing it anymore. I will be listing on there, but it'll be short, sharp, quick hitting, fast selling items that will be selling the same day or the same hour. And because it'll be mega cheap. You know, I might do a bundle of stuff and be like, I'm only going to use this as an example, but I might buy a bundle of games and be like, right, that one's good for eBay. That one's worth £3 on eBay. CEX will give me £2.50. Let's put it on Vinted for £1 and get it gone. That's what I might do. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm not buying specifically for Vinted at the moment. I'll be doing it again. You know what I'm like with Vinted. I'm always up and down and I'm in and I'm out. Just need to take a little bit of time out because eBay, you get such little hassle when it comes to things like that. Everything just works. Everything's just there. And if I really wanted to stop massive lowball offers on eBay, I can set my minimum offer percentage to be a certain percent. So I wouldn't even see those offers. They just auto decline in the background, which is what I've got on most of them. So silly offers, stupid label changes, holding on to your money, and let's not talk about the website going down every 2 minutes anyway. So we're just going to chill out on Vinted for a little bit, maybe make a second Vinted account without having the pro balls and chains on and see what happens there. With that being said, we're going to move into eBay now, and it's been quite fruitful. You know, I've had a couple of auctions end. Some of those went for more than they was originally listed for buy it now. So, you know, work that one out. And I've had a few little good bits going out. So let's get into eBay. I was at a car boot sale and the lady was selling mirrors, £5 each. So I offered her £8 for 2. One of them I haven't listed yet, and this one I have. Couldn't get the money that I wanted for it online. It wasn't selling, so I sent them to auction. You know, I went past its 30 days. I think it was like 50 days, this one actually. So I sent it to auction, and actually only went for a start. All of these auctions, by the way, I did starting bids of £9.99. You know, there wasn't just pure tatty stuff. It was stuff that was all right. Someone actually sent me a message about 2 days after this was listed and said, will you take £20 for it now? And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. There's like 10 watches at this point. So I said, I'm to place a bid now and you might get it for starting bid. I'm not sure if it's them or not, but regardless, this is sold. This is doers or do-what? No, what did somebody say to me? Doers. Make sure you say doers or something. One of you guys in the comments. I don't pronounce things correctly all the time, all right? Sold for £9.99. Starting bid plus post £13.49. Definitely worth a few quid more than that, but I paid £8 for 2 and I've still got one to list. Finally sold this. Took so long, believe it or not. Bought this from the car boot sale for £5. Had to fight James Collects for a couple of things. He picked up a £300 transformer, and when I watched him grab it, I was like, oh no. But I paid £5 for this. Sold it for £30.50 all in. It's a nice little Warhammer build your own kit, Citadel, space pod thing. Nerds. Ah, didn't know that I'd sold. Some things have sold before or after I'd actually picked some of this stuff. I'll just take this jacket off. It's a bit, not hot, but that was a palaver. My goodness, what was I doing? Right, so this is sold, obviously, last night. Canon Sure Shot M. I think I picked this up from the chaps at the car boot sale where I picked up the Wu-Tang controller and stuff, I think. Canon Sure Shot MSAF, MSAF, MS as fuck. Sold for £26 all in. Wonderful, beautiful, amazing. Kyle Timms actually picked these up, and I'm so glad he did because he wanted them. Actually, I can't show you. I'll probably just have to put you there for a minute. Forgot you're not the camera, are you? The camera's there, you're the laptop. It's really pulling my t-shirt down like an 80s gym person. Well, but I can't even show you anyway. I'll put a screenshot up. Carl's picked up the stuff from the Danbury Mint. It's the little Aardman creature comfort stuff. Kyle, really appreciate it, mate. They have sold for £20.99. I paid £1 each. Moving on. I want to put that on there, really. That there. Let's rest you back up there like a risky biscuit. Next up for £9 all in. So I'm running a 10% coupon. This was £10, it's £9. Little Panasonic remote control, little hi-fi remote. Doesn't owe me any. Oh yeah, it does. Owes me £1 from the car boot sale. That's been paid for now. Where is that? Oh. Can't find it. If I can't find it in the box it's supposed to be, I'll look in the surrounding boxes. Can't find it. Well, to save myself a bit of time, we'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that. It'll be here somewhere. I'm just not looking properly because oh, it's there. I did pick it yesterday. What? Went to get that one. It's underneath there. Oh no, you can wait now for 2 seconds. For £11.69, we've sold a score draw England football top, size small. Wasn't selling on Vinted, wasn't selling on eBay at certain prices, didn't sell on auctions. I just kept on. It sold £11.69. Just killing me. Keep pulling me down like a V-neck because I never used to wear V-necks when they were trendy in 2008. Let alone now. I will literally not wear and disown a t-shirt or bit of clothing if it's a V-neck. It could be the most nicest thing in the world. If I like it, it's a V-neck. I don't want that. Don't like them. Right. That's why I couldn't find it in the boxes. Fulham away 2009 football shirt. Sold on auction for £41 all in. I paid a couple of quid for it. I listed it for about 80 quid, I think, when I first got it. I've got loads of washes, but not even any offers, to be fair. £41 all in. Fulham away 2009. Apparently, it's quite a rare shirt. Spider-Man 3 Black Symbiote figure. 2007. Sold £11.60. I do actually have a message with one of these orders, but I'm not too sure which one it is. Hopefully, if I see it, it'll remind me. Brutus Novelty Golf Head Cover. This is the last of the bundle now. I think I paid £5 each for 6 of them or 5 of them. I've made some good money out of those. This one sold for £9.99 plus post, £13.49. Whenever the price is £13.49, when it comes to the auction stuff, it just received a starting bid. You know, I'll normally put things at £9.99. I normally put things at 99p. I always get screwed out. So I thought, not this time, suckers. £9.99. Now, I don't know if Ben has bought things before or if it's just because he's bought both of them, but I appreciate it regardless. I've sold the Sony DVD player, the little small one, you know, like camper vans and stuff, £12.49. And then I don't pay no more than £3, £4 quid max, £5 max if they're HD. But that one sold. And then I've noticed up here, we've sold the same, well, Panasonic version, little small DVD player, again, to the same chap. So, and that's £9.99 as well, £12.39 all in. So I don't know if you bought from me before. I do kind of recognise the name though. I'm not going to say it out loud, obviously, just in case you're not a viewer. But if you are, really appreciate it. Ben, I can say Ben. That one sold for the same money, so not bad. Picked this up the other day for £1.75, I think it was, or £1.50. Little Franklin Chambers spell checker thing. It's not worth much at all. I said it wasn't. Sold it for £10.79 all in. But £1.50 into £10.79 after fees and post. How often can you just pop into a shop and come out with £6 in your pocket? It's good, isn't it? Ah, this was the one that had their message. See, I knew if I see it, I'd remember. Paid £3 from the car boot sale. Sold it for £11. No, 11.36, 14.86 all in. Just a nice little Adidas sign from a golf shop originally. I actually found the original picture of it in the shop. This one did come with a message. Let's have a little look. It said, when it wants to load up, couldn't add a note. Glad I managed to get this. This will go up in my new unit once I get it built. Appreciate you as always, mate. You keep pushing me to be better through reselling myself and the YouTube. Mate, I really appreciate that. You keep doing what you're doing, Jake, and I've just realised, actually, you bought something off me the other day, didn't you? And I wasn't sure if you'd bought anything or not. No, it wasn't you. I really appreciate that, Jake, massively. Keep doing what you're doing, brother, and you will win. You can't lose. Consistency is what wins. Consistency. Even if it's terrible consistency. Think about it like this. When people win, all they see is the win. They don't see all the losing up to the win. Losing isn't losing. It's just another step towards winning. I'm not saying you're losing or anything, but you know, you can add that into multiple different lives, you know, avenues in life. The Puppet Company Giraffe picked up a bunch for 50p each, and this one has sold for £11.99 all in. Isn't that right? Subscribe! Just do it. £5.39 all in. Little Tonka toy car. Just cleared it right the way down. I mean, that's probably going to owe me money sending that one. £10.69. We've sold Out of Control. A nice big chunky board game out the door. I like it when these ones disappear because they take up so much room in the boxes. But I paid a couple of quid each for them and I've sold a few now. Owes me nothing. £10.69. Renault Trucks Vest. Absolute bargains. Now I paid £10 for 3 of them. I've actually just listed the other 2 yesterday. I bought them probably 4 months ago. Listed this one 4 months ago. Got a bid on it. Went through those 2 boxes that I've told you about I found earlier and was like, oh, there's the other 2. Listed them. But anyway, they're worth more than they're selling for sure. This one has sold for £13.49, so starting bid and more. But then again, it wasn't selling for what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? Just a nice puffer Renault Trucks jacket. Not a jacket, a gilet. We have sold another bit of Christmas. The reindeer, the parachute material nylon-y one. This was £1.50. Sold it for £13.49. I think I might have to run a sale on the rest of the things I've got now because I'm into pure profit on them. So if I can run a nice little sale, maybe £8 all in, no offers on the rest of them. Well, no, I might have to have offers on so they can do bundles. I'm not sure. But we're into pure profit now, so I can let the rest go for less profit margin than I would originally want. Does that make sense? Still need to make profit on them. I'm going to give them away. £45.50 for a 2010, I think it is, 2008, 2009 Reading t-shirt. Another one. I gave Vinted the opportunity at 20. Everyone kept offering me 10, 8, 7. Put it on eBay for $39.99. Nobody bought it for 35 days. Put it on auction. Sold £42.20. Plus post £45.50. Make it make sense. I paid £7 for that. Move you back down here. Lee has actually picked up the Saks Fifth Avenue snow globe. I'll put a screenshot up here. There was a guy that was just clearing stuff down, basically giving it away. It was a lovely bloke as well. Some of you might remember that car boot sale. It was quite a good one. Just giving stuff away. I asked him how much that was. He was quite expensive on that, to be fair, considering what his prices were. It was £1. £1. That's probably the most highest price thing he sold. Or everything was like, take the whole box, 20p, 5p. Try telling me a cushion for 5p. God love those car booters. These are a really cool little find. These are 2002 Nike little golfy shoes. Aren't they cool, eh? They was in the charity shop for £12.50. When I got to the till, she went, oh, it's half price today. So I ran back to the shoes and was like, hold on, because I had another pair of shoes that were there. I went and grabbed these. So I paid like £6.75 or whatever it was. They have sold just for the starting bid. Oh, a little bit more than starting bid. They've sold for £17 all in. They should have sold for a lot more than that. But again, all these things that went on auction wasn't selling for me, so I put them to auction. It's easy to say they should have sold for this, they should have sold for that. Yeah, but they didn't, did they? That's why you sent them to auction, mate. So move your stock on. Stop looking at solds and going, well, everyone else has achieved 60 quid. Why can't I? You are doing something wrong on the listing. I'm talking to myself now, by the way, and you, if you want. I was either doing something wrong on the listing or they're just not worth it anymore. Maybe there was a TV show that came out and everybody wanted it for like 2 minutes and then didn't want it anymore, you know? These things happen. Head bag, back and forth with the buyer, ended up just accepting the offer in the end. £13.06, part of a £15 bundle. Otherwise, I wouldn't have accepted the offer. So this owes me nothing, really. Sold most of the bits now. Pure profito. £15.50, we have sold record number 0102. Little block plane. Really nice one, that is. Owes me nothing anymore. I think I picked it up for £2 from the chap at the car boot sale, but I sold something else I bought from him as well. So there we go for a Friday. That is going to be all of my sales heading out the door, and you aren't going to see for a little while. I mean, you're still going to see the occasional Vinted sale, but not like it was. I don't want to build a constant store. I want my store to always say nothing available right now until I list one thing and it sells. Do you know what I mean? Like, I might get a bunch of these puppets for 50p, and I might sell one for 10, 12 quid, and then decide I can put them all in there for £1 now and make loads of quick money back. And I'll do that. So that's it. My links to my Vinted store, which will be a ghost town, and my eBay are all down below if you want to come along and follow. Check them out. Be first to see when I put a deal up on Vinted. Right, I'm actually making a video on... In fact, no, I'm not going to tell you because one of you would just copy me and do it first. I like to take my time with things. I'm going to get this lot packed up, get it out the door, and get it on its way, and start my weekend. It's weird having to now accommodate weekends without car boot sales because they're barely on anymore. Strange. Just want to be in a muddy field. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Like the video and subscribe if you don't mind. I appreciate it. See you in a bit. Do it.